Right, hello and welcome to this week's angling vlog. This week you join me on the banks of a local pond. We've had Storm Eunice the last couple of days, which has made a mess of the local trees, and with the rain the rivers are a mess. Even the River Ribble that handles the water quite well this morning is out of its banks. So my uncle's over there on that peg just pouring himself a brew, and we've literally got a morning on this pond just to get a few bites. They've given another weather warning moving in at midday, so we're going to give it till about 12 o'clock. I fully expect the weather to change, you know, the wind to pick up, and this morning is just about getting one or two bites. So I'm setting up on the pole, fishing just in the shadow of them two trees. I'm going to feed some maggot. I've got some hemp seed in there, so a nice simple bait tray. Fishing wise, we're going to be putting the cad pot on, just feeding a few maggots and just seeing if we can get a bite. Like with all fishing, just put a little bit in and see what we do. There's one or two fish topping, which is a good sign. And for those of you that keep up with the Brolly diaries, yep, it is up today, and yep, there is another one on order. I'm just going to put a tiny little bit of maggot in, a tiny pinch of hemp, and just feel our way into the swim. It's going to be nice and easy and just fish for bites to begin with. So the first cast of the day, and I've just plumbed up so I am the depth of the swim, but it is a weedy venue. If you come here in summer, there is quite a lot of weed on it. It's why the fish do so well, I think, you know, from the predators, but a lot of that weed from when I've plumbed up is still on the bottom. So just flicking that maggot and a little bit of hemp in. There's loads of fish topping, so it might be that we've got to come shallower, which seems a bit balmy considering it's just at the end of February, but the starts go, the float's buried straight away. So always good to get a bite on the first cast, really is. And a rudd, which again, them fish that are topping could well be rudd, and we've got to come a bit shallower. But on days like today where the rivers are out of commission, it's just good to get a few bites, and that is all today is about, just getting a few bites. So second cast, I'm just going to put a few more maggots in, not loads, probably 5 or 6, and then just lay that rig over the top. Some of the fish have been topping quite close in. Got a nice slow fall on the bait. The float's taking a bit of time to settle, and just watching it as it's falling through the water. And there we go. You just see there, that slow fall of the bait, that float hadn't settled at that point. But by just reading the float and how it's falling, you can just judge the bite. You see there, just as that float's settling, just the bites coming. And that's what you get with that strung out shotting pattern. You know, you're fishing through all the layers of the water, and when it's clear, that is what I like to do. And that's a slightly better one, and like I was saying there, with that strung out shotting pattern, you can see there, you just get that slow fall of the bait through the water, and if you keep a tight line to the float, then you can keep in contact with the bait as it falls. The venue is a venue that I did come as a kid. I used to walk here from my house, and back then it did have some nice carp in it, but like all venues, they do change. At the moment it's got some nice rudd in it, some nice roach, Crucians at the right time of year, and who knows, today we might get one of them. They will be the prize if we get one of them today. Some tench, and there are one or two of those descendants of those old carp as well, but not as many as there was in yesteryear. But today is just about really coming out and getting one or two bites. There we go, there's another bite. At the moment, rather than putting a lot of bait in, me and my uncle were just talking about other times we've been on here. It's always been better to make more casts than to maybe put a bit more bait in. So just sprinkling a couple of maggots in at the start, and that time I had about 3 different settles of the float, and on the third one it's buried with a fish. Looks like another cross, a roach and a rudd. You leave in the comments below what you think it is, but to me it looks like a bit of a hybrid. Into the first slightly better fish. It's come as the float has settled over that hemp seed that we've been putting in, and that is why I kept putting it in, because obviously then I know that there's some fish down in them lower layers. I'm sure I've just seen a flash of gold. Hopefully it's a cruie. It would be beautiful to get one of them today. And what a lovely fish that is. Makes all the effort worthwhile, and tense it up in my hands a bit. But a palm full of gold on a February day, beautiful. There's certainly plenty of these fish in the venue, and like I say, in summer this is all weed, so it's not the easiest of places to fish, but I guess that gives them the protection from the predators, and why these fish are doing so well. By not putting too much bait in at the start, you can almost rule out that you've overfed the swim. You know there's not too much bait down there, and that's why I always say just take it easy to begin with, because a lot of the time you're just catching what's in the area. You can really kill it in the first 10 minutes by thinking there's loads of fish there and you're going to get loads of bites. Right now I'm sat there knowing there's a tiny bit of hemp on the bottom and a few maggots. One thing that is noticeable is when the float does settle in them lower layers, it's always a better quality fish than what you're getting on the drop. We say we had that cruie before, didn't we? And then that's settled down there, and when it's gone, it's another better fish. And there's another one of those golden buttery cruies, and there must be 1 or 2 of them down there. Like I say, when that float does settle, you do get a better quality fish. But yeah, just showing how mild it is at the moment, mid-February, in Crucian fishing. Let's get it straight back. And just around the pool now, you're starting to see that change, that wind getting a bit stronger. You're getting the gusts, which they were all in that corner before, they're now coming across the pool. Mr. Brolly's doing me well, and like I say, probably got about an hour of the session left now, and we'll call it a day, but it has been great fun. Again, with that float just settling and finding that clearer patch, the float's buried with a better fish, and good to see that elastic coming out the pole. And the beauty of these places, you just never know what your next bite's going to be. And what a lovely fish that is, pristine condition. You can just see them lovely markings on its gill, the black fins, and the third one of the morning. let's get it straight back. So with the rain coming down, just hooked into a slightly better one, and so we've had plenty of bites this morning, and that's what it's been about. Just getting out there for a few hours and getting a bend in the rod, and this looks like a slightly better roach, so we'll get him in and we'll take a look. And that does take me back to the days where we used to come as a kid, where there used to be some real quality roach in here. There still must be something about. You've seen some of the better fish topping, but yeah, another species to add to the list. And be interesting to come back here in summer and give it a go when it looks a bit greener. So if you want to see that video, leave a comment down below and we'll come back in summer and we'll see the difference. So the session does come to an end there now, and I just want to say thank you to everybody that's left such nice comments on the video about me having COVID. I'm beginning to feel a bit better, and you join me on the Thursday now after that session, and I'm looking forward to the weekend where the storms have passed and the rivers look like they're going to be fishable. So I'm super excited to get out this weekend. So as you can see on screen now, we got plenty of bites on that session, a couple of Crucians and some of those roach, and that is what it's all about. When the rivers are a mess, having those places that you can go just to get a bend in the rod is sometimes what it's all about. Again, leave in the comments below if it's a venue you want me to go back to in summer, and we'll give it a go. And with that said, I just want to wish you all tight lines in your own fishing. It'd be great if you could like and subscribe, and I'll catch you all next week. Tight lines.